first weekies. Monday Night Football here at pregame.tv. We've got the battle between the Bears and the Niners. And as we cut this video, a quarterback situation up in the air a little bit. Alex Smith on Wednesday afternoon was listed as probable, but the guy on the other side of the line of scrimmage, Jay Cutler, guys, was listed still as questionable for this game. If he doesn't play, you've got the magnificent arm and the fleet feet of Jason Campbell. I'm just kidding, by the way. Just wanted to see if you were listening. If Alex Smith doesn't go or gets knocked from this game because he's not quite healthy, you've got Colin Kaepernick. And Bryan, as much as you like to root for Colin Kaepernick, he's one of these guys that at this point of his career, maybe he changes things down the road, but if you saw him last week against St. Louis, he's looking to pull the ball down and run with it before he lets plays develop, and that's not good for points scored by the Niners.
Yeah, Kaepernick did the same thing at Nevada, and he's an exciting player. And when you take a look at the dropping between your first string and second string, I only got Kaepernick maybe a point worse than Smith, whereas the other one's probably about a 3-point, at least according to my ratings. So there is a definite advantage there for San Francisco if it comes down to backup quarterbacks. But you also have a quarterback that can move, and anytime you play in a defense like the Chicago Bears or San Francisco, two great defenses, if you've got a mobile quarterback, that gives you another option.
Well, and Marco, when you look at these quarterbacks, if it is Alex Smith, you've got a game manager against a game manager in Jason Campbell. If Alex Smith doesn't go and Kaepernick is running around with it, again, I think you just keep that clock running rather than making plays, because I know one play last week in overtime when they actually had possession of the football around their own 40-yard line. It was like a 3rd down and 5. He's rolling to his right. The receiver gets open about 10, 12 yards downfield across the midfield stripe, and Kaepernick, for some reason, with nobody on him, decides to run for it, and he gets knocked out of bounds a couple yards short of the first down. I'm looking at his receiver, and he's just shaking his head like, what the heck are you doing? You got to throw the ball. You got to take some time and let me get open. So I think in either situation, no matter which one of these quarterbacks are on the field for the Niners, you're going to see less chances to score points, and especially against this Bears defense. And as Bryan said, San Francisco, man, I'm telling you, that defense is just as talented, and they're going to make life tough on Jason Campbell.
You've got two great defenses here, but the one thing with San Francisco, they finished in a tie last week. So for us handicappers, it puts asterisks on everything we do for this one game, because there's the stat out there since Jim Harbaugh took over the 49ers. When they come off a loss, they haven't given up a touchdown in the next game. But this is a tie. I know he's viewing it as a loss when you're a double-digit favorite, right, and you end up in a 24-24 tie.
That way.
Yeah. So I'm going to say they're going to come out, shut down football. I don't see the Bears scoring a lot of points here. The Bears didn't score a lot of. Bears defense scored a lot of points this year, but the offense, right, is just average. And as far as Jason Campbell goes, he's been a backup his whole career. He finally got a chance to play last year in Oakland before he got hurt. He actually wasn't playing bad for Oakland last year. He got them off to the nice start, but then they brought Carson Palmer in, and then that was it, history for him. But they're not going to take chances, not against this defense. So both teams are going to play it close to the vest. I just don't see where points are going to come from in this game.
I'm looking at this one, too. What were you say, Bryan?
Well, I was just going to say, discounting field goals, what kind of a prop would you make on offensive touchdowns compared to defensive touchdowns in this game? Because there's not, as you pointed out, there's not going to be a lot of good field position, a lot of touchdowns. I see a game of field goals and maybe a couple of pick sixes with the quarterback.
The 49ers have one of the best punters in the league. He can he can flip the field on you. When you're playing a game like this,
and keep it away from Hester.
Right. Field position is huge when you've got two bad quarterbacks and you want to make them drive the field.
Whenever I want to go against the Chicago Bears and I'm looking at a game with a team that's maybe good but not great, I always look to see if their punter's been in the league for a couple of years. If he hasn't, I get a little nervous because Hester can change a game completely, not just field position, but the points on the scoreboard. Anyway, this one's my free pick. We know about the Bears defense. They win games for this team despite that lackluster offense, and that's even when Jay Cutler is healthy. As far as San Francisco is concerned, the defense has held their last 6 opponents to 10.3 points per game. That drops to 7.2 points per game in their last 5 games if you take that game against the New York Giants out of the mix. And by the way, I had the Giants in that one. Didn't surprise me because of their speed rushers in that particular game. But I think this is a low-scoring game. Almost looks too good to be true. I'm taking the under on Monday night as my free pick. And guys, thanks for being with us all weekend long. Hope you put a lot of your games in the win column. We're going to be back Tuesday night, Wednesday, with more videos. We're going to have at least 16 to 17 videos for Thanksgiving weekend. Stick around, look for that. Have a great week. We'll talk to you in just a few days right here at pregame.tv.